I don't really care 'cause I'm done. All the real love is not fun. There's no emotion on my face 'cause I'm numb. You see me everywhere you look, no you can't hide or run. Yeah, everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head. I said everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head, whoa, messing with your head. I've been texting her all night. She know I was doing wrong, she let me right on red. Now I'm walking with my head down, gotta keep my head high.
Alright, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to another video. Or welcome back to this quarantine vlog or study video, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, what a time to be alive right now. Who would have thought we would be in this situation 2 weeks ago? It's all kinds of madness going on out here. With the whole coronavirus, with exams, with honestly, right now, I'm just kind of shocked. Well, I've had some time to let things sink in. So let's talk a bit about what the hell's going on. Basically, my final year OSCE exams have been cancelled. Not rescheduled, cancelled. And they're gonna take our fourth year results, which was last year's OSCE results. To be fair, it's not like we're less competent because of it, because our fourth year OSCEs, which we had last year, are essentially identical to this year's, except for I think some Breaking Bad news, which we had teaching on, and we got filmed so they can assess that in video format. So it's, to be fair though, I had no idea something like this was going to happen. Then the country is on or London at least is on partial lockdown. Loads of kind of underground stations are closed off. The government's advice and the public health advice is to try and self-isolate, so partial quarantine out here in London. And my only exam is a written exam online, so I'm basically just kind of studying for that. So now that the OSCE is cancelled, I was ready to go absolutely all out with the OSCE practice. Do you get me? I was ready to. In fact, shall we show you a bit of it? So. This here is every single history taking station that we should know for final year, or that we should also, this is from last year, my last year's notes. So what do we have? Ophthalmic presentations, red eye, loss of vision, all psychiatric presentations, gynecological presentations, domestic violence, medical emergencies here, respiratory medical emergencies, COPD, acute management. Yeah, essentially all this stuff here I printed out in order to go over again, but now what we can do is dash it away because we don't need to do it anymore. To be fair though, actually I do still need to know it, so I should go back and pick that up. I'm making light of this now, but in reality I'm still going to be going over it kind of every once in a while, and also we've done it hundreds of times. So now I'm just going to be revising for the written exam, and the way I'm doing that is literally through an online question bank, which is called PassMed. So actually, shall we bring it up now? By the way, this is the new desk setup, which I'm going to make a video on quite soon. So the exam's in 3 weeks. I'm going to try and go over literally every single category here. So now, because there's 3 weeks left, which is plenty of time, to be honest, to literally just be doing PassMed and just clicking through. That's literally the motion. And also Anki. So there's 5,000 questions in this online bank. So I'm just gonna try and at least go over all of them twice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I was doing some PassMed questions yesterday, which a few I got wrong, and I flagged them because I didn't have my laptop with me. So I'm gonna go back into them and create Anki flashcards from those questions that I got wrong. So that's gonna be step one for now. And yeah, so at the start of the video, obviously you saw me cleaning the room, etc. And that's obviously because, a clean room leads to a clean mind. That's what I think anyway. So yeah, if anyone else is like me, hates to be studying in a space which is a bit untidy, then yeah. You're like me then.
I am no hater, yeah, we in the same with the only difference is that you do not own it. I can just tell by the way that you're driving it. I pull up in that car just like it's stolen. Yeah, I came a long way, came from the hallway. I can't stop, keep going. Yes, my life just feel like one long day. I just live in the moment. Coming out just like the sun down. My boys, they ruthless like hoops and they really run down. Paper cuts from $100 bills covered in bust downs. Counting with my thumb now. Money make me numb now. I don't really care cause I'm done.
So now I spent about half an hour to 45 minutes making some new flashcards. I don't know if the lighting's alright. Move that a bit here. Yeah, about half an hour to 45 minutes just making some new flashcards for hematology. So over maybe the last, let's say maybe the last week, I've been doing questions online. I've been doing these past med questions, and I've been making flashcards out of them, but I haven't been going over the Anki flashcards daily. It just be like that sometimes. It's a bit boring, I'm not gonna lie, doing the flashcards over and over again. So from today on, I'm gonna make it a habit to every day when I wake up, I'm gonna go over all of the flashcards that I have for that day for the next 3 weeks. So that way we're not leaving any gaps and we're not making the same mistakes over and over again, because that's the key thing. There's no problems, and I don't have any issue myself personally as well with making a mistake the first time when it comes to academics specifically. So getting a question wrong the first time, that's no issue. The issue is when you make the same mistakes over and over again. That's where there's a real problem again. But in order to prevent that, prophylaxis and that, I'm going to be going over these Anki flashcards on a daily basis. The other thing is, with these times that we live in, with these corona times, I should make a disclaimer that even though in the title of the video it says self-isolation or quarantine or whatever I decide to title the video, I'm doing it out of my own choice here, because that's the current guidance by the government and public health and all of that. So I'm trying to stay at home as much as possible. I do go out sometimes to buy groceries, buy food. I did go into uni yesterday night just to do a bit of work. There weren't any people there, so I'm going out here and there, but the majority of the time I'm just chilling at home. And to be fair, with my kind of introverted nature anyway, I'm cool with being at home. You get what I'm saying? No issues with that. So yeah, that's the disclaimer. I'm not staying at home just because I've got corona. Yeah, there's no corona out here. It's just out of choice. Let's go over the flashcards for the first time. If you want to see what flashcards I've made so far, let's bring it in. The majority of these are old flashcards, so these are from last year. The new ones I have named F year, so F year obstetrics and gynecology, F year pediatrics, F year gastro, F year general stuff, F year hematology, etc. And this is how many flashcards I've made for each. And as you can see, I haven't really gone over them before. So we're starting that today. I'm gonna go over all of the flashcards right now.
There's no emotion on my face cause I'm numb. You see me everywhere you look, no you can't hide or run. Yeah, everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head. I said everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head, whoa, messing with your head, whoa. I just got richer overseas, yeah. Looking at my watch and it's so richer than it's green, yeah. Smoking on that good, no I'm blowing out the steam, yeah. You wouldn't believe the numbers stuffed up in my jeans, yeah. Said I got a backpack, got a stack racks. Ay, no, I can't go outside, can't go out bad, yeah. Told that girl that I'm no duck, this ain't that flat. I don't wanna get older, I'm still living in my last, yeah. I hope my life just keep going, don't worry about that.
I spent a couple of hours, I think roughly about 2 hours, going through a few of the decks. I did the obs and gynae, I did peds, I did gastro. Now I'm on hematology. And yeah, I think it's interesting because I find it quite difficult starting the Anki flashcards or starting to do them. But then once you're kind of in the zone, then you realize, how useful it is. But also that it becomes easier. It becomes easier to memorize the more you memorize. For some reason, it's just a bit weird. And I'm gonna take a break. It's a bit late. It's about 7:30 now. These days I'm waking up late and I'm sleeping very late. My sleeping pattern is wrecked. It is what it is. But I'm gonna go get a drink. So let's go make a tea, as you do in Britain. Now I say. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really had orange around the same time period as some tea, so I don't know how this is gonna come out. It's a bit weird. Okay, this is such a waste of time. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. So now I was gonna finish up the last of the Anki cards, but I just found out some of my friends have jumped on Fortnite, and yeah, I've literally just started playing it like a couple of days ago. I didn't really play video games since like first year of uni, so we've literally done like a full circle now after 6 years. Yeah, so I thought, you know what, let's jump on this thing. I think it's quite fun as well because it's with friends. Let's delay the Anki flashcards and pass med, and let's just play some games for a bit. Oh, Mo, I saw you flipping won that last game by yourself. Flipping LG. Is that you, yeah? Smashed it like. It's now 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock now, and we've had a good little sesh of gaming. So right now, I think I'm just gonna go back to the Anki cards now that we've had a break, and just finish them off. So that's I don't even know what step we're in, but that's what I'm gonna do now. All right.
I don't really care cause I'm done. All the real love is not fun. There's no emotion on my face cause I'm numb. You see me everywhere you look, no you can't hide or run. Yeah, everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head. I said everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head, whoa, messing with your head. I don't really care cause I'm done. All the real love is
So now that we've finished the Anki decks, to be fair, I'm considering doing all the Anki decks from last year as well. So there's so many of them. Like for example, Obs and Gynae has 70 flashcards. Obstetric alone, I think I've got another deck with 80 questions. So I've got so many other decks that I made from last year, which to be honest, there's no point like letting them go to waste. So I might just do them too, but not now because I'm sick of flashcards. So let's go into PassMed and do some questions. And right now, I only have like 8 questions for gastro in my Anki deck. So what might make sense is to do some gastro questions, get some questions wrong, so I can make flashcards out of them. Yeah, so the aim is to get questions wrong, I guess. In fact, should we do a question together? Yeah, might make it a bit more fun. So let's open this up. PassMed. 29-year-old male, so quite a young guy. That's what we're getting here. Actually, here's one thing. So here's a tactic for how to deal with multiple choice questions really quickly. Is before actually reading the question, I look at the options. Obviously now I'm not doing that now because the whole point is not necessarily to get the questions right, but to develop the clinical acumen that is translatable to real life, right? Because obviously when I'm at the hospital, I'm not gonna go and see a 29-year-old male and then be given a list of 5 options. Or okay, he might have a pneumonia, he might have a pulmonary embolism, he might have some post-operative lung problem, whatever. It's not how it's gonna be. It's gonna be okay. I go, I have a chat with them, and then I make the options myself. So that's, I'm trying to simulate that real life scenario. But when doing questions in an exam, as like a little trick, is to read the options first. So once you've seen all of the options, then as you're reading the question, you're reading the question in the context of what options are available. So if I have a look at this now, so okay, so it says what's the most important investigation to perform. So it says CT, laparoscopy, X-ray, colonoscopy. So we already know that. Okay, now we're looking at the investigations. It's nothing to do with the treatment of this patient, nothing to do with the symptoms, nothing to do with really diagnosis. It's what investigation is best for this person. So okay, so they have ulcerative colitis. For the past 3 days, they've been passing 5 bloody stools per day. So obviously they're having an acute flare-up of their medical condition. So over the past 24 hours, they've developed abdominal pain and low-grade pyrexia. Okay, so then we look at the bloods. So hemoglobin is important because maybe they've lost a lot of blood, but that seems to be normal. Platelets is normal. White cell count is normal. ESR, which is an inflammatory marker, is high. CRP is high. So which investigation would be best to perform in this patient? So the way I'm thinking about this now is there's no point jumping straight into CT. There's no laparoscopy. There's no point putting this person into surgery as well before you've done some simpler investigations. Maybe this person is having some kind of issue like a toxic megacolon or something along those lines, because I think that's common with ulcerative colitis. So the simplest thing from this perspective would be just to do an X-ray and see what's going on. I think that might be the answer. So let's see. Yeah, so there we go. So there you go. So this person might have a toxic megacolon, which is demonstrated in the transverse colon. Okay, so that's a whole load of complex stuff which I guess medical people might not know about. So to summarize, because I've waffled there a lot, actually there is only one major learning point from this, which is one of the most useful techniques when doing a multiple choice question, and I'm going to make a video on this, is to before even reading the question, is to read the last line of the actual paragraph, which in this case is, what is the most important investigation to perform? Now I know, okay, the question is in the context of investigation. Then I read the options, and once I've seen the options, I can just scan through the question, the actual kind of big chunk. Yeah, hope that's useful. So let's keep going with this.
I don't really care cause I'm done. All the real love is not fun. There's no emotion on my face cause I'm numb. You see me everywhere you look, no you can't hide or run. Yeah, everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head. I said everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head, whoa, messing with your head.